Okay, I was asked to provide a video as far as doing a top 5 per category. So, for instance, rather than just doing the top 5 for um, one city, how could I do it so that it worked at the state level, show me the top 5 by state, but then if you drilled into the state level, show top 5 by each city in the state. So, here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do, I'm using the session 3 hands-on file. I'm going to first create a hierarchy. So I have state and city as being nested. So I'm going to click on city, and I'm going to control click on PC or command click on Mac, and right click and choose hierarchy, create hierarchy. I'm going to call this hierarchy state or province, comma city, and say OK. And they're in the wrong order, so I'm going to put state on top of city. And now when I drag state onto my rows shelf, there's a plus on state, and I can click the plus and bring in the city, and I can click the minus and take the city out. Well, now I'm going to put sales in, and then now this will just be sales by state, and now it's sales by city. And the last thing I'm going to do is put in the customer name and add all the members. And now this is all of my customers by state. This is all of my customers by city. And I'm going to sort descending customer name by descending by sum of sales. And if I remove city, go back to state, you can see that that sort works. This is the sort for all the customers in the state. Now, if I was to put a top 5 in for customer name, it brings in a little bit of a mess, all right? And that's because the top 5 is calculated before my summaries, all right? So what I'm going to do is, instead of doing it that way, I'm going to use a formula that actually for each cell will figure out the position of the row, and if the position is less than the number I'm going to compare it against, then it will show, and otherwise it won't. So if you'll notice, we already have a parameter here called top customers. I'm going to click this drop down, and I'm going to choose to show. I can't show the parameter control till I use it. Oh, no, it's already showing. Sorry, here it is. It's already showing here. Top customers, okay? And it moves from 5 to 10 to 15 and back. So I'm going to use this top customers parameter in the formula as well. So I'm going to create a new calculated field, create calculated field, and I'm going to call this top customers by cell. And I'm going to use I'm just going to use an if then else statement. So I'm going to say if index is less than or equal to top customers, then 1, else 0, end. So index is a function that returns the place of the index of where you are in the view. So the first row in the view is 1, the second row in the view is 2, the third row in the view is 3, etc. And so what it's going to say is, it's going to say if index, which returns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to n, is less than or equal to top customers, which is currently set at 5, then 1, else 0, end. I'm going to hit this and apply. I'm going to convert this to discrete, and I'm going to place it in my filter. I'm going to show only the ones, only the values where 1, where that formula calculates as 1. So it's the index is less than or equal to 5 in this case. Apply. Now, right now, I've gotten the first 5 in the entire view, because by default, this calculated fields was calculated for the whole table. The whole table. Now, I have other choices, table down, pane down, etc. Let's see if I choose cell. Every row is a cell, so that won't work. So they're all 1 if you calculate by cell. But if I compute using the pane, and I'm going to choose just one, okay, now it's going to give me the first 5 for each pane, all right? And it's really cool because if I expand this, now it's calculating the panes here. And if I filter by state, you can see, sorry, if I filter by city, not all of my cities have 5 customers. I filtered so it's only New York. You see that this is the top 5 for New York. And if I change the parameter, it's the top 10 for New York, the top 15 for New York, the top 20 for New York. So that's using a parameter and an index function to do a top 5 that works no matter which level of detail you have chosen to display.